architecture.
Uh-huh.
Berlin, Symphony of a Great City.
Yeah. I've heard, they showed so much of Berlin, but they didn't show the 24-hour nightclubs. And that's all I hear about with Berlin these days.
Well, I got some good news and some bad news about maybe how different the Berlin in this movie looks from contemporary Berlin, which
Hmm.
is that most of the buildings you see in this movie got blown up real good in World War II. So
The Allies.
this is a non-narrative sort of documentary film
Hmm.
directed by Walter Ruttmann.
Who we've seen before.
Yeah, doing animation.
Yeah.
Um, and this is him doing photography or film. There's a little bit of animation sprinkled throughout, or at least at the very beginning there's a bit of like a
Yeah, kind of.
transition thing, but it's mostly just shots of the people, places, and things of Berlin.
Yeah.
And it is a pretty cool like time capsule of this very brief period of time in Germany, the
Weimar.
the
Germany.
Weimar Republic, where it was like some cool things happened during this time, which it weren't happening so much like a decade previous or the decade after this. So it's cool to see it like captured in this way.
Yeah. A good 10 years for Germany.
Yeah.
In between the two world wars, which were bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. Hot take.
I thought this was interesting in relation to Opus, his other movies, because those movies were all about like shape and form. They're really abstract animation, so it was it was playing with these kind of like modernist ideas of I don't know art words. It was this like very modernist kind of like look at these shapes and the kind of beauty that they create with their light and shadow and color, which you can in a way see in German expressionism with like the light and shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this movie is applying the kind of mindset of his animation to city photography, where it's trying to create. This isn't all of what the movie's doing, but especially in the beginning, I feel like it's creating a lot of really interesting shapes with the pre everybody waking up Berlin. So you're looking through like these industrial triangles and buildings that are at kind of strange angles and all this stuff. It reminded me a lot of Manhattan as well.
Right. Yeah. It definitely feels like it is a kind of taking what Manhattan was doing and running with it a bit more. I mean, it's longer too. It's a feature. Two things this reminded me of on either end of it, I guess, are like the really early Actuality movies from like the 1890s of just sort of like, here is a street. Look at the people. Like, it's not.
Here's a church. Here's a steeple. Open the doors.
Exactly. So it has some of it. It's got a lot more going on with it through the editing and through the composition, all that stuff. But and the other thing it really reminded me of is the Kotze trilogy of movies from like the 80s and 90s. Those like Koyana Skotze and I forgot what the other ones are called. Those feel very reminiscent of this. Like I'm sure that this feels like a definite kind of like precedent for those movies, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Although those movies are more like kind of critical and less venerating, right? The Kotze movies, they're like,
I guess,
I haven't seen them, but like I get the sense they're like about I don't know economic or not ecological collapse and stuff and what have we wrought,
right? Yeah, no, it is a bit more of that, I think. Whereas, yeah, I think this movie is definitely intended to be like, look at this great city, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Even though I think due to the score I watched it with was written in 1993, so post Koyaanisqatsi, and I think it feels a bit Philip Glass inspired. It wasn't by Philip Glass; it was by a guy named Timothy Brock. But
I wonder if Philip Glass has done any silent scores. That'd be interesting.
I hope so. But so the score at times I think gets a little ominous in a way that maybe is not like there's a whole milk bottling scene early on that has like very intense ominous music over it, that I was like, I don't know why this milk bottling is so ominous. That aspect of the score, and also just hindsight, I think gives this movie a bit of this air of like, it kind of retroactively takes on a sense of like impending doom a bit.
Yeah, and there are like some scenes of like chaos and I don't know, discord.
Yeah,
That it's not all revelatory. It's is that the right word?
yeah,
It does have some kind of like, yeah, cities have some violence in them sometimes, you know.
yeah. There's like a fight between two guys on the street, which I think is probably staged because it's covered by two different cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It also just kind of looks staged. There's also a scene that is definitely staged of a woman jumping off a bridge, and there's like a cool like punch in on her eyeballs getting all bulgy and big in a like very George Miller-y way. Those are, I think, probably the two most like overtly, I guess, like kind of negative things where it's like, hey, life can be rough sometimes.
It's not all peaches and roses in Berlin.
Yeah. But it's sort of, the whole movie is like a day in the life, right? It starts in the early morning, goes to the evening, and we see all different aspects of industry and work and people traveling and nightlife, and you know, there's like sort of like all the neon, not neon signs, but all like the lights turning on.
There may be neon. It was invented.
Oh, well, sure. A lot of, you know, rain-slick streets lit by headlights.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool imagery, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this feels... I mean, I think the actuality influence is interesting, but this also feels in line with some Russian stuff.
Mm-hmm. The editing especially feels, like you said, post-Kino Eye.
Post-Kino Eye, post-Vertov. I mean, it feels like if this were very communisty, it could have been Kino Eye, you know?
Right, yeah.
It shares some kind of formal attributes with it. One of the things that popped out to me so much watching Potemkin is just like the focus on beautiful compositions. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a lot of what this movie is. There's no narrative to speak of. Yeah. It's just pretty shots of things happening in a city.
Right. I thought watching this, like, this is the kind of thing that I make when I'm on vacation. Is I just like film a bunch of stuff that I think looks cool, and then I edit it together and like try to find some kind of like rhythm or like thematic thing to take me through it.
See, there was a canonical score written for this movie, but what it should be is that song "Vacation on Level 1." and
I gotta rewatch it with that song over it now, just on repeat for 90 minutes.
And you just do like an iMovie intro. My trip to Berlin.
Wait, since this is public domain, I kind of want to upload that. I think that would be really funny.
You should upload it as if it's like actual, like it's like it's an actual vacation video, and it's just the entire Berlin Symphony of the city.
Yeah. Oh boy. Another just quick thing to note that I found very interesting in the sort of time capsule way is that there's some footage of the terrifying old German elevators that are just in a perpetual state of moving up and down.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice those?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a movie from this episode or last episode that featured those elevators as well.
Yeah.
It is a very specific and interesting type of elevator.
It's called the Paternoster elevator.
Oh yeah, they were in Metropolis too, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Just a relic of the 1920s that is just an interesting thing.
There are some that are still functioning, and I want to get on them.
Yeah, they look very scary. I think the first time, well, maybe some of the old movies have them that I'd seen before, but like the show Babylon Berlin, which takes place, I think the first season takes place in 1929, has a bunch of scenes with these elevators in them, and I was like, what are how are these allowed? And they're usually not anymore. So
oh yeah, it's definitely very anti-OSHA.
Yeah.